everybody, it's Kayla and welcome back to another video. Today we have a working mic. I hope. Me and this mic, we've been through it. But today we're doing something very exciting, which is we're going to be doing a Oathbound reading vlog. If you have been on my channel in the last couple months, you will know that this is one of my most anticipated reads of the year. It is really long, so it's a little bit intimidating, but I'm hoping that it's going to go by quickly. Before I get too far into the rest of this, spiel about this book, I just want to let you all know that I'm still not feeling well. I am filming this on the same day that I ended my last vlog, and I'm still sick. I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm still like a little bit congested and coughing. So I appreciate your patience, and I hope that the audio doesn't sound too gross for those of you who are your gag reflexes easily triggered as mine is. But thank you for having patience with me. So for those of you who don't know, Oathbound is the third book in the Legendborn cycle by Tracy Deonn. Through all of the chatter about this book, I learned that there is going to be a fourth book. I thought when this came out that this might be it, but I think that there's going to be a fourth book. I just don't know. Like, I think that one's the last one. I don't really know. But anyway, I've heard lots of things about this book. Lots of tough things. It seems from what I've heard, it's like a marathon, right? You gotta like pace yourself. So I'm gonna try to read this in about a week. I am no longer on spring break, so this might take me longer than a week. We'll see. But I'm so glad that you're here with me. I also wanted to say, I was looking on Goodreads the other day and I saw the reviews for it. It's currently sitting at a 4.46 stars, which is crazy. I think 6,000 plus reviews. That's really good. Like, that's insane. It's been out for a month, so this series just keeps getting better and better. In my last vlog, I did a reread of the first two books in the series, so I give a little bit more context in that. There's just so much that happens in the series. I would encourage you to look up the Goodreads or storygraph summaries just because they do a better job than me. But that being said, I am going to warn you that this vlog will have spoilers. I'm going to do a spoiler reading vlog. I will try my best to remember to do a non-spoiler review at the end, so I will put the timestamp down below if you want to just skip to that. But all of the vlog will have spoilers in it. I apologize. Please come back if you would like to read this. Actually, no, I don't apologize. I think this is going to be fun, and I want to make a video for those of you who just want to like discuss Legendborn together. If you want to comment, just put like spoiler in front of it so that nobody like accidentally scrolls and reads it. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. I don't know how long it's gonna take me. Hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully I just inhale this like I've inhaled the other books. Although I want to make sure that I understand it this time, because with the other two books, especially Bloodmarked, the second book in the series, I inhaled it so quickly that like I didn't understand the ending. So the goal of this reading vlog is to read, enjoy, and understand. Because I don't know when the fourth book comes out if I'll have the time to reread 3 500 plus page books. I think this one's almost 600 pages, if not over. So off we go. I know that I haven't officially began this vlog yet, but my copy of Oathbound just came in the mail and I want to unbox it with you all because I have seen photos of it and like promo, but I haven't actually like held the book in my hands. It literally, like, I just got it off the porch. So we're gonna open it together. The thing is though about this is that this is very premature because I haven't actually began my reread of Legendborn yet. I'm still trying to finish the last like 50 pages of The Wicked King. So this hopefully will be getting done today so I can dive back into Tracy Deonn's world and just get this stuff done. I've been waiting for this book for a very long time, so let's see. Is there a better way that I could do this? Let's open it. Oh, I can see it. Oh, it's like right there. Okay. Don't mind me just trying this box. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take it out of the box. Oh no, you too much. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow, look at it. That's thick. Oh my goodness. I saw a spoiler. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Girl. I don't even have any words. I am so excited to read this book. I literally can't even explain it to you, and I can't even say in frame. I want to look at the hardcover, like underneath the dust jacket, but I'm scared to break the spine, and I literally just flipped through one page, handful pages, and I saw spoilers. So I need to put this away. Look at it. It's so
Okay. I will see you when I actually start reading this book. Bye.
Hello everybody, it is the next day. Excuse my hair. I'm gonna straighten it, and so I didn't put any products in it when I washed it this morning, so it's like I'm gonna get it dyed, I think, in a week. So just bear with me. Although it is kind of funny because like the front is all faded, but the back is still pretty blue. So that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Oathbound. So I've been reading it since yesterday, as I told you all. And I am on page, I think I'm almost up to 70 pages. Yeah, exactly 70 pages. And what a way to start this novel. So I just finished the prologue. The prologue is like 5 chapters, and basically like we're getting settled into Bree's perspective. But Bree's perspective is not the only one that we're getting in this novel, which is really cool. Had heard that that was happening in this book, which is a departure from the other 2 books, which are only written from Bree's perspective. I don't usually like it when novels like or series add like new perspectives halfway through the series, but I understand why it's necessary in this book because basically in the prologue, Bree, she's secluded with the Shadow King or whatever his name is, and so she's like on her own little adventure, but her own little adventure is very secluded. Words. And so like next currently I'm reading like chapter 6 or something like that with William's perspective, and so like we're getting to see the whole story, right? The whole story is not just about Bree. I mean, it is about Bree, but like there's other things happening that are important to the story and like the overall arc that Bree can't tell us, right? Because she's not there. Because the crux of this first part of this book right now is the fact that everybody's separated. But yeah, the thing that I am liking right now is the dual. Well, I think I'm gonna say dual POV because that's where I'm at right now. Right now it's Bree and William, but I think that we're probably gonna get more POVs just because that would make sense given the nature of the story right now, because everybody's scattered, as I said earlier. The thing that I do like about fantasy novels with like several points of view is that you get to see kind of like irony in how like different characters' perceptions of the plot are different, right? So like for example, Bree made a bargain with a demon, the Demon King, Shadow King, whatever his name is. They call him like 5 different names, so it's kind of confusing. And she like quote unquote willingly left, right? But then William and Nick and Larkin and all these people are like, no, she was kidnapped. So it's like it's kind of interesting and also like kind of sad to be the only person meaning like the reader, to have all of the information. But that's all I got really to say so far. Hopefully I'll be able to read more today. I mean it's Sunday, so I have a lot of like cleaning and things to do. I have a video that's going up today. Watch it. I will link it. So I have to finish editing that, but hopefully I will have time to read later today. Hi everybody, this is a new angle, so I hope you like it, although like the lighting is crazy. I think that I worry that you're gonna get sick of that angle of just like right on my bed frame. I do have a tripod, however, for a short clip like this, I'm not in the business of doing more work than you need to, you know? I hope you can hear me. This is a little bit awkward for me, but this looks weird. I thought that we are way overdue for a reading update because it is Saturday. Last I talked to you was Sunday. I've had one of the most stressful weeks of school. I only have 5 weeks of school left, so I'm like trying to keep the end is in sight, but it feels very far away, and also like it's happening too quickly all at once, which is such a like paradoxical feeling. But anyway, I have my lunch in front of you, in front of me and you, my drink of choice, and I'm gonna read. But I wanted to update you before I get into that because I have thoughts. I think I'm on like 35%. Made some progress. It's so weird. I have read, over 200 pages and I'm only 30-ish% of the way through. So it's like definitely taking a really long time. The plot does feel like it's taking a long time, but I think that's just because I think Tracy Deonn is like taking her time, trying to make sure that all of these different threads that she's building are gonna like weave together beautifully. And I can see the threads weaving together, because in the beginning it felt very much like everybody was just in a disarray. Everybody was in different spaces doing different things, having different priorities, and I see now how it's all coming together. But weird structure things have been happening. So I think last time we spoke I brought up the fact that William's perspective and we had William's perspective. I don't remember if I said the other perspectives, but so far in part 1 we had William, Mariah, and Natasha. I don't know if there's anybody else. I don't remember anybody else. Okay, so now we're in part 2. Well, first of all, let me finish that thought. Part 1, I really enjoyed all 3 perspectives. I want to read them more, but I'm irritated because I realized this morning that I'm in part 2 now, and now we're back to only Bree. So we didn't get any of Bree's perspective in part 1. So it was only Bree in the prologue, and then the multi POV in part 1, and then part 2 is just Bree so far. It's this weird back and forth, and I don't know how I feel. I just want to know what William's doing. Like, let's be real. I want to know what William's doing. I want to know what Mariah's doing. The plotline with Natasha and Cell are like, it's more slow. So it's like, yeah, I do want to know what we're doing there, but it's also like taking a really long time. So there's just many pots on many burners, and it's crazy. I cannot even imagine how she drafted this. Like, that must have taken so long. But I do think it's interesting that she chose not to have Cell's perspective or Nick's perspective, people adjacent to them rather than themselves. And I wonder if she ever will write in those two boys' perspectives, or if she's just going to leave that inaccessible to us. But yeah, most of my thoughts have to do with the structure, although I do have some thoughts on the amnesia trope that's going on right now. I don't even want to call it amnesia trope because it's not. It's like super specific. Basically, I'm kind of confused how it happened, even though they've like talked about it a lot. But basically, like, the Shadow King like took away, either intentionally or unintentionally, Bree's ability to access the people in her life, in her memories. So like, for example, she remembers the Merlin boy, but she doesn't remember Cell. Like, she doesn't know him, wouldn't recognize him if she met him, but he would still recognize her. So they're like, the people are gone, like their faces are gone, but she still remembers like the emotions attached to them. It's super weird. I get it from a writer's perspective why she did it, because I feel like one of the major driving factors for Bree in the first 2 books was the people around her and what she felt like she owed them or what they owed her, and like her relation to other people. I'm not saying that's the only driving force, because I don't want to say that like she's a people pleaser, because she's not. She is completely independent, completely driven by her own drive, but I feel like a big factor of it for her was like the sacrifices that people were giving to her, or the things that she needed from other people. I don't know. I hope this is making sense. I'm not trying to demean Brie in any way. It was like one factor of many. It's weird to have like that major part of her personality just gone. I think I understand it a little bit better from a writer's perspective, because now we're getting to see Brie just as Brie, with no attachments to people. Like, she's building more relationships, but they're more like formal rather than just like attachments, if that makes sense. And so we're getting to see her behave as like an independent agent rather than a member of the order, or as a root crafter, or a part of these communities. She is just Bree. Not to say that she's like completely removed from them, but she is removed quite a bit, right? I don't know. It's weird because I feel like her reasoning for being in the situation that she's in is gone, but she still wants to be there. So like, oh, that's not what I mean. What I mean is like the origin, the things that I don't know, I'm confused. I feel like the things that drove her to be in this position are gone, except for the things that only have to do with her, which is like her determination, understanding her power. So I'm kind of confused about like what her end goal is. Like, does she want to be the scion of Arthur anymore? I'm just kind of confused, and I know that it'll make sense. I know that it'll make sense at the end, but I'm a little bit confused as to what like the driving force is, other than her wanting to understand and weaponize her power. But even then, like, what her power is now confusing, because she's removed from the root crafter community. So she's technically not a root crafter anymore, but she's a blood crafter, which draws on root. But she can't access Arthur's power anymore. I want to be clear, it's not bad confused. Like, I understand that I am like at the bottom of the hill that we're going to climb together in this novel. So like, I know that it'll probably make sense by the time I reach the end. It's just like, I gotta trust the process. I gotta know that Tracy Deonn has a plan. I've been yapping for almost 10 minutes now, but I'm going to read more of this. It's definitely gonna take me longer than a week. I was hoping I could read this in a week, but this week with school has proven that I need to lock in on schoolwork and spend less time reading and doing YouTube. So I'm laughing because but it wasn't funny earlier in the week. I'm gonna take a couple minutes now to eat my lunch, because you need to eat. Reminder to eat and drink your water, and then gonna study for the weekend because it's Saturday and I'm doing homework. Woohoo! Hello everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm not gonna get the mics out for this, but it's, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it? Okay, it's almost 9:40 at night. It's Wednesday. I haven't been doing a lot of reading, but I wanted to update y'all that I got to the 50% mark. This is taking so long.
It's like the final weeks of school for me, or like I have like 5 weeks up, so things are getting intense, but I need to get this read, and I just wanted to tell y'all that I'm at 50%. I can see where like the different storylines are starting to connect, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm like slowing down, is because I don't want to know. I can tell the disaster is like just around the corner, but every time they start to interact, like the different storylines and like the different POV characters start to cross over, then they like just miss each other, or like they have a little bit of contact, but there's like a reason why it wasn't that substantial, or it was substantial, but like there's so much going on. There's so much going on. Anyway, I just wanted you to know I didn't forget about you. I've just been busy. So we'll see how this ends. Hopefully I can read it and finish it this weekend, but I've been saying that all this vlog, so I don't know. Quick 11th hour update. By 11th hour, I mean 9th hour. There. That's a little better. I need to update you all on Oathbound. It's been slow going, that's for sure. I just hit like 60% today, which is good, but I'm kind of struggling a little bit. The story is going in so many different directions. I don't entirely know what's going on. We've had the meeting between Nick and Bree, and so now we're seeing like the crossover between her old life and her new life, and like her memory loss, whatever. It's like frustrating, but also like this is like the cringe part that we have to get through in order to get to the end, because I know that the ending is going to be amazing. I'm just like struggling a little bit to get through this part. I don't know. Now we're in like the heist part where they're like trying to get the Shadow Crown, but she ran into Nick, and then they got stuck in like these fake identity situation, and now they're gonna be stuck in this estate for like 3 days. And I don't know, it's dragging a little bit, and I'm bummed because I don't want it to drag. Part of the reason why I think it's dragging is because right now we only have Bree's perspective. It's like jumping between including other people's perspectives and including only her perspective. Like, I would love to see what Nick is thinking right now. We did have one chapter with Nick's perspective, so it's like I think it would be more entertaining, like more gripping, if we had like Mariah and Nick and maybe Zoe and maybe Ava in addition to Bree. Right now it's just Bree, so it's a little bit like, I don't know, it's regular, if that makes sense, which is sad because I want to love this so much, and I am loving it. I just feel like this part, yeah, I'm gonna try to read a lot this weekend, but I'm hoping that we get back those several perspectives because I really liked them. I thought that they enriched the story a lot. Oh, it also feels like the part where she's like getting to know Nick again, it's like a little repetitive, and Nick is in his like villain era right now, so it's kind of strange. It's like the characters that we knew and loved are completely different now, and not in an what am I trying to say? It's not entirely I understand, right? I understand why they're different, because when we met them, they were going to college. Like, the idea of war was like completely out of the question, and then now they're like literally in the thick of war. So like Nick being in his villain era makes sense, but you know, I don't know how to feel right now. I'm just trying to get through it, and I want it to be like we know you like each other. We know that you're uncomfortable because he knows you, but you don't know him. We know it's weird. We don't need to be mean. We don't need to be rude. I don't know. This story is a lot darker, I would say, or it opens up the darker doors. May have been like mentioned or like skirted around, but we're still there in the first books, so it's hard to process all of the information. I'm hoping that we will get back the other points of view, so it'll become more rich, because it's not bad right now. I just think that the other perspectives makes it more consistent. I hope. I have to go down to dinner, but I just have to say, things are getting more and more intense. Ooh. Okay, first of all, the hair. This is a no judgment zone, but can somebody please explain to me how she knows who William is? I don't understand that, like, jump. How did she figure out? Did I just forget how she, like, remembered William? I'm confused. This ending is just, I don't understand. I don't understand. First of all, disclaimer, it is laundry day today. It is cleaning day tomorrow, and it is hair wash day tomorrow. So this is a no judgment zone in terms of appearance. Although I feel like you all have gotten to see like the many stages of my hair, because when I started this vlog, literally like 20 days ago, hair was all like washed out and stuff because it needed to be redone, and then it was straight, and now it's like needs to be washed, but it's like wavy. I don't know. This is the no judgment zone. Okay. The important news that we have gathered here today to discuss is I finished Oathbound last night at like midnight, which was crazy. And it was so crazy, in fact, that I had to write notes. Let me get my notes up because they are on my phone, but you're on my phone, so I have to pull it up on my computer. Cue the Jeopardy theme song.
Okay, midnight thoughts on Oathbound ending. Biggest note. Oh my god, what? Literally, I closed the book and I was just sitting there like, what? Huh? What just happened? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, it was insane. I am gonna try to make sense when I tell you these thoughts because, like, they were so jumbled and I have a tendency to just, like, yap, 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 yap. Sometimes when I'm going back and editing, I'm like, hey, that doesn't quite make sense. So let me if I don't seem excited, I am excited. It's just because I'm trying to make sense. So yeah, the first note I had was oh my god because the ending was just like I have my critiques, but like I can't I can't be mad. I can't be mad. I honestly like I did not think that this was going to be a 5 star. Like when I finished, when I literally closed the book, put it down, I was like this might be a 4 star just because as we're going to discuss, I did have some problems with it, like overall and the ending, but like I was having so many like reactions to the plot, like gasping and going, "What?" which is like not normal for me. Like when I'm super super invested in a book does that happen. So I have to give it the 5 star feeling. So this is 5 stars. Just so you know, I didn't rate it 5 stars. Yeah, so I wrote this is one of the biggest reactions I've had to a book so far this year. Deonn's awesomeness can't be ignored. Facts. The plot is kind of confusing. I said I said the plot is so confusing, but I can't. What do you mean? What shall we do? Yeah, so where do we go from here? If you read like the final line is what shall we do? It's like you're right. What we spent like 642 pages together. And the last sentence is what shall we do? What? What? Okay, and then go also with the plot. I'm like a little bit confused because there's like one of the major aspects of the first two books was that like Legendborn are going to war, right? Because what was it called? The big war when Arthur's called Camlon, something like that. Where is that? Like that's not really in this book. Like it's mentioned the war, but it's more mentioned as like a political thing because then you have like the regents who are like we're not going to give the power over to Arthur who's Bree because we want power, but there's still like they're fighting for power in a wartime, but we haven't really gotten war yet, or we have and I'm just like have missed it. So I'm wondering if like the war is going to be like the major plot point of the fourth book. I've heard that there's going to be a fourth book, but I don't know. I don't think it's been confirmed as far as I know. And I don't know if that's going to be the last book. I think it's going to be the last book, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, because this book was mainly like there was plot, obviously, but it was mostly driven by character. Bree's character arc, Nick's character arc, Sel's character arc, everybody's character arc, which is great. Like it's amazing, but it's like the balance between the characters themselves and like the plot elements that are outside of them. Like it's very heavily character, which I'm not against. I just want to be very clear. It's amazing to witness Tracy Deonn's like character focused plot, but a part of me is like where's the war, like where like is it just forgotten, but it was a major like it's the I don't know, I'm confused about that part, or maybe I'm just missing something, but that's what I'm confused about. Yeah, but I love Deonn's dramatic writing. Sometimes it's a little much, but like I gotta give it to her. She loves her symbolism, she loves her metaphors, she loves her imagery, like the sun and the moon, demons, she loves it. I gotta give it to her. One thing I did want to say was this is very clearly like the Nick book. The first book, Legendborn, which was like introducing all of the characters, and then Bloodmarked was very heavily focused on like Bree and Sel, and this book is heavily focused on Nick and Bree. And I want to be clear and say that this series way more than a love triangle. I do not want it to be boiled down to just a love triangle because that's stupid. Like it is way more than that. The love triangle is just one plot point, one plot line of so many things, but that is like a pattern that I'm seeing where like it was mostly Nick in this book, whereas in the last book it was mostly Nick in this book and with Sel absent and only like in certain parts versus it was reversed in Bloodmarked. So I wonder if in the fourth book then it'll be like them together or all three of them together. Not literally, or maybe literally, but you know what I mean. So I don't know. That was like interesting. I was thinking it was going to be more accelerated, where like Nick and Sel and Bree were all going to be together a lot in this book, but that did not happen. And then the final note was there was a really funny moment I had last night while reading where there's this point where like all three of them are figuring out Sel's parenthood, right? But they did it in a very like Tracy, she does this thing where she like implies information because there's so much going on in like the plot and the characters and their thoughts and everything. I get confused. And so there's times when I can tell that she's like trying to push something forward and like communicate something, but I'm just not getting it. And so I was like, and this was one of those moments where they were like having the thing with the blood mark, and I was sitting there like she's trying to tell me something. I have to use my brain to figure it out. So I was just sitting there like trying to figure out, and then I went because I got it. And I was laughing at myself because I was like, that took way too long for me to like get what she was putting down. But it was also almost midnight, so like I'm gonna give myself some grace. That happened way more than I'd like to admit though. But it's not I don't think it's anything wrong with the book. I just think that it's so like dense with or dense isn't the right word, it's rich. It's rich with plot, it's rich with character that you have to pay attention. You have to use your brain. And I'm not always using my brain. So it's funny sometimes to be like, huh? What'd you say? I have to go back. What? Yeah, and then my last note was just holy cow, what? So yes, 5 stars. I still have some like irritation with multiple point of views just because it felt kind of distracting. Like it was really cool to see Will's point of view, Natasia's point of view, Mariah's point of view, like all these people, and then it just like disappeared almost in the second half of the book and only was Bree's POV. So I kind of wish that it was more consistent, but I also understand from a story perspective why having those other POVs were important. Otherwise, we'd be missing crucial information. I just wish it was more consistent because I was like, I want to know more about these people, and like it felt disposable almost of like, I'm only going to add these when it's convenient rather than like, I don't know. I still have some questions, but I'm just gonna enjoy the 5 star feeling because Oathbound was amazing. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's over. I have to wait for the next book. Oh my goodness. It's what? I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm kind of glad that it's over just because I've literally been reading these books for 2 months, I think, because I did a reread and that took me a really long time. The first 2 books, and then I read this, which took me like an astronomically long time. Not that like 20 days is bad. It's just usually I read a lot faster than that. So it did drag a little bit, but I don't know if that's necessary. It's not just the book, right? It's also me. Oh my goodness. But I'm also like, what? I do need a break though. So I'm kind of glad that it's over, but not like in a bad way, just like I need to read something else because I have been in true reader fashion. This has been staring at me because I got it from the library on Monday. So, anyway, I hope that makes sense. I've just kind of been gushing at you for like 12 minutes, but I hope that you enjoyed this vlog. It was kind of chaotic, so thank you for sticking with me to the end. I know it was a journey. I don't even know if the other clips make sense because so much has gone on this month for me that I don't even this was not necessarily a priority, but I'm still reading. So anyway, I'm hugging it like a baby. I'm just like I'm sad it's over, but I'm also glad it's over. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video and want to see more of my face in your feed, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. I will see you in the next video sometime soon. Bye.